Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Casino, and I am joined with the lovely Janelle. I can never remember how to pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry.
Not important.
Okay,
Okay.
and she joined us before on the Big Brother 23
Mhm.
finale with Taylor. She's a big Taylor fan.
Yep.
We were talking about this episode. We're very excited. Amanda's traveling right now. James is working super late, so she asked to join and I
Here we are.
gladly accepted her. So before we get going, please give us a like, subscribe to all our podcast locations, and follow us on Twitter and join our Facebook group. Um, wow,
What
what an
an
episode!
episode! It was
Wow,
so good, Frank.
so good. This is what keeps me a big Survivor fan. Episodes like
Mhm.
this. Man, I don't like. Let's just start with the vote. Like the Cody leaving. Like even when they first discussed it, did you think Cody was leaving, or do you think it was a big smoke screen?
Um, when they first started discussing it, I was nervous because Carla, I thought they had a brilliant plan to get Carla. That was a foolproof plan that Jesse just could have wrote out. You know what I mean? Like let Carla think she's safe. They're gonna bluff these people and then blindside her. Perfect, foolproof, hands clean plan. I was like, oh, because I do like Carla. I was not happy about that plan. So I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want this to work. Please play your idol, Carla. So I was really stressed about that. So then when Jesse went to Owen, which was very ballsy, and was like, listen, I want to make a move. I want to take out Cody. I was like, okay. I was happy. Like I could rock with that because Carla wasn't going and I really liked Carla. So as I listened to that plan unfold, I got excited. But then when I saw him ask for the idol, I was like, oh hell, like here we go. Like it's over. Like it's over. So going into tribal, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was nervous. Like, is it gonna be Carla? Is it gonna be Owen? Is it gonna be Cody? I was really, really nervous because I really didn't know because all I know is he asked for that idol back and we didn't know what happened after that. Did he give it back? Did he keep it or whatever? So I didn't know what was going to happen. I just know I was on pins and needles waiting to see what was going to happen.
So throughout the season, we've seen different parts where Jesse has shown his social awareness and social skills and his strategic mind throughout the season, where he like put out a plan to blindside somebody, did all that in the confessionals. Is good
Mm-hmm.
episode, him explaining how everything was going to work and
Mm-hmm.
all this jazz. And then like you've seen it throughout the whole season, just him like I'm the swing vote, I'm this, I'm that. He's explained his position very well. And then
Yeah.
when he described doing this vote, you understood why he was going to do this vote. It
Yeah.
wasn't like that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do it? Like with Carla voting on Cassie, that didn't make much sense to me. Like,
I
yeah, she
agree.
but with Jesse, you understood exactly why he felt like he needed to do it. Do I
Yeah.
think he's playing a better game than Cody? Yes, but if he feels like people on that island may see Cody as the person who is the more vocal out of the two,
Mm-hmm.
then I understand why he felt like he needed to make this. And if he does vote out Carla in that situation, Cody does get that credit. And he just slayed the biggest threat within the game.
Yeah.
Uh
Wasn't it on the reward? They were talking about how um Jesse's game was very parallel to Cody's. Should you two sit in the end together, how are people really going to differentiate between what you have done and what Cody has done? Like you can share, it's going to be, I think that having those similar games really risks like splitting votes and really risks his win. I understood completely why he felt the need. Wasn't that the conversation at the reward challenge? I
Uh,
feel like
Jesse
Owen was
wasn't at the reward. He was at the camp that
okay.
happened between Gabler, Jesse, and
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, that's really sound reasoning. And I don't know if he planted that seed on purpose, but it was a good seed to plant because he's right. Like it's a valid concern that their games are so similar that they might split votes, or if he feels that Cody's more charismatic, that people like him better. That sometimes that's all it takes to edge you to get those extra votes to get that win. So I completely agree that that was necessary to get him out of that game, and he had to do it right then because he had that idol and he knew it. He couldn't
Right.
get 5. It was
Mhm.
automatic to the next vote. So right, that was pivotal for him in his game, and I pray he gets his booty in those final 2 seats.
Yeah, so I understand why Jesse did what he did. It was
Mhm.
tough for him. He didn't relish in it or laugh at Cody for being dumb or anything like that. He just explained like, if I want to win this game, I have to go this route.
Mhm.
And I don't know if Jesse was thinking about that before Gabler said something, because we only see what the show is showing us. So he could have been talking in his confessionals for, I don't
Weeks.
know, weeks about it. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know, I gotta cut Cody eventually because I will be seen as this pair with him, and he's the more vocal out of the two. He's the more charismatic, the more funny out of the
Mhm.
two. He can speak to a room better, where I speak to one person better.
Yeah, yep.
You know, things like that, where we don't know if that's been going through his mind for weeks or what. So,
Yeah.
and throughout, I've been watching a lot of the exit interviews. I don't know if you have or anything.
I've seen a couple.
So a lot of the people that are leaving the game said Jesse's real quiet and laid back,
Mhm.
and that's why people didn't see him quite as the strategic threat that he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But by doing that, it's enabled him to stay such a low profile in a way,
Yeah.
where people who have been more out and open, like Sammy, James, and Carla, have
Yeah.
been seen as these big threats, where Jesse's been like, everyone trusts Jesse. After he blindsided people after people, like even Carla,
Everybody.
even Carla's episodes, like, Cassie, go talk to Jesse. Jesse will tell you exactly what happened. And Jesse's like, yeah, Cassie, come here.
Ratted her out
This-
so quick.
So it's just, he's betrayed almost, he's at this point, he's betrayed everybody who's trusted him within the game,
Mhm.
and everyone still trusts him up to this point that I'm aware
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. I agree. Do you think that if he gets there, he can get the win?
I think so. I think that with newer Survivor, people, you see a lot less bitterness within people. They
Mhm.
respect the game moves. They may be angry going to Ponderosa initially, but the last 3 seasons, they haven't been wanting to vote bitter. They've been
Yeah.
wanting to vote the best player, who they thought played the best game, who owns their game at Final Tribal Council. Um, Now we only have a small sample size, but the way the jury reacted when Jesse voted him out, it was a positive reaction. It wasn't like a bad reaction, like, ugh, how could he do
Mhm.
that? It was like a, oh my God, like,
Yeah, that's my read on it too, because they were like, Jesse did that? Like, that was Jesse. So I think that they were excited about the move too. And I think that if Jesse is able to articulate why he made some of the cuts that he made, then he'll be fine. He's articulated perfectly fine in his confessionals that he cares about his family. He wants to bring this home for his family more than he cares about anything out on that island or any person or relationship. That's all you have to say. How can you be mad at that? You have to be more loyal to yourself than you are to anybody else. Cody, I love you, but I love my family more. I want this win for my family more than I love the relationship that we've built over 20 something days. That's what I'm here for. So he had to make the moves. And I agree. I don't think he relished in it. I thought that fist bump was a little brutal, that he fist bumped Owen after he played that idol. But besides that, yeah, I have the sense that if he can get there, he can win, especially if he's able to articulate his reasoning like that.
yeah. And you notice the people where he had to make cuts, who's been on the jury, like Noelle, he got up, gave her a hug, and whispered
Yeah.
something to her.
Yeah.
Cody, he gets up, and it was a big pause there for a moment. I don't know. I thought he was gonna give him the cold shoulder, but ends up shaking his hand, giving him a hug, and he's like, "I'll explain later." Like, he's done that with the people he's ultimately had to betray. That's
Mhm.
on the jury,
Yeah.
where he's got a last word before they go. They don't have this of what, well, aftertaste of Jesse just did that to me. He didn't even care. Like, he
Yeah.
showed that he cared about them in those moments, where a bad player will be like, "I got you, haha," in their face, and that
Yeah.
like it's one thing doing it in your confessional, it's
Yes.
another thing doing it in front of the jury, in front of the rest of the players, and it just leaves a salty taste in their mouth.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
he's doing a really good job of blindsiding people, but doing also a really good job of his jury management at the same time.
Yeah.
And he's guaranteed Final Four. He has an idol that nobody has, and like this is a two-part plan. Like not only does he cut Cody and he can take all the credit for all the moves now,
Mhm.
he wasted his idol and wasted Carla's idol on top of that. And that was a big thing that he wanted to do. And that is like this is one of the most impressive moves I've ever seen.
I
Like
agree.
it's like one of those things that like you stole somebody else's idol, played it for somebody, so somebody else would play their idol, and just waste it and vote for the person that you stole their idol through.
Yeah.
And it's
Like
just like
he played his number one ally's idol on somebody else while blindsiding him, while simultaneously flushing another huge threat's idol, gaining traction and loyalty with Owen. All in one night. It was a huge night. I think it's one of the most savage moves I've ever seen in the game of Survivor. And I think it takes a lot of courage to do that move, because when he went and he approached Owen about this, you could tell he was nervous. It was all in his body language that he was like, okay, I could tell he was nervous, because Owen could have easily went back to Jesse and be like, "Hey, or he could have easily went back to Cody and be like, "Hey, Jesse said A B C D E F G," the same as Ricard did to Shan with Deshaun. Same thing. He could have Owen could have easily done that. So I think it also takes a lot of guts to go for a move like that, and I think it's one that presents itself not that frequently in these kind of games. Players want moments like that, and they are few and far between for a reason, because it has to all work out. Because
mhm,
I thought it was done with once Cody asked for the idol. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, there goes the plan. Like I
right,
thought it was done for, and I was very surprised to hear in exit press that he didn't even ask for it. Jesse never asked for the idol back from Cody. Cody gave him the idol back. And
mhm,
that's because of seeds Jesse put in Cody's mind about Carla having that knowledge is power. And he said, I trusted Jesse more than I trusted Carla. Carla wanted me to have my idol and bring it out at tribal. Why does she want me to do that? Maybe she really does. So he gave it back to his loyal ally.
right.
He did him
And
dirty.
it's like Jesse does a lot of subtle things, and that's one of those things. Like he didn't.
Yes.
Jesse knew if he went and said, "Hey, can I have that back?" it would raise up red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says, "Hey, man, just be careful. Like, what if Carla has the knowledge of power, and she wants you to flaunt that so she can just take it from you?" Which
Yeah.
is a perfect thought because it was in the game twice. Didn't get used
Mm-hmm.
either time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's already shown that it's been in the game multiple times, and
Yes.
production obviously loves that advantage. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that
It
he
was
did
there.
was there. So
Mhm.
it made perfect sense of him just dropping that hit. And they've been, like I said, tight since the beginning.
Yep.
So he's like, you know what? I'll just get back to Jesse. There's no reason for me to flaunt it. I'm not going home anyways. And when he did that, it was just like Jesse's is like it's like one of those things like I know what I have to do, but man, this is and you've seen
Oh,
it when he about to say
absolutely.
it at the when he's like any idols or anything, he goes, and he takes a big deep breath and he's like, Jeff, and he's like, I gotta take the courage. And you just
Mhm.
tell that it took a lot out of him just to say, Jeff, and he didn't play the idol for himself, he played it for Owen. Like
Owen.
and Cody was like, really, bro?
It was so and I really, really feel for Cody. As much as fans like to scream, "Oh, it's a game. It's just a game." And they like get upset when the players are upset, which I completely disagree with that argument. Like this is what they've been living for however many days they've been in the game. This is their life, this is their reality. And when somebody blatantly lies to your face or cuts you deep, it hurts.
Mhm.
There are bitter juries for a reason. There are people that go after people in the final questioning for a reason. It's a very emotional thing. They've gone through a lot to get there and a lot to get through that game. So to get cut hurts. So I never blame a player for that. Um, but man, that was hard to watch because I really do feel for him because not only did his number one ally cut him, he has to deal with like I think that once you get voted, he handled it well in the moment, but once you get voted out and you get to sit and think about everything that went down and how he actually betrayed you, like he took you out your own idol, like it's
Yeah.
just so savage. So I hope that Cody is able to find peace with that move because I really like I wanted to give him a hug while it was savage and I feel necessary for Jesse's game. I still do feel bad for Cody because that has to hurt.
Right. And like if he went back to Ponderosa and just had a moment of just like cry a little bit and like just like you can't blame him.
Oh,
And,
absolutely not.
and like let's like they are playing a game, but they're also playing a game for $1 million. Like
$1 million. Yeah.
and like yes, he has a family, but like everyone has families, and everyone wants that money for certain reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and
Nobody's reason is more valid than the other. You know what I mean?
yeah. So Jesse has or Cody has every right to be upset,
Yeah.
but I think there's a fine line of being upset and like taking away something that they felt like they earned, if that makes sense. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I know it's easier for me to say
Once you're
from
not cut,
here.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure that hurts so bad. And I try really hard not to judge when a player is hurt because sometimes they just need time
Mhm.
to sit with that and process that and work through that. None of us at home knows what that feels like. So I feel bad when a player is upset or needs some time to like digest it and work through it and fans are like, "Oh, you're a horrible sport or it's just a game." Well, you go do it then
Mhm.
because this takes a toll on people for a reason. It's not easy. So I know it was hard on Jesse. I don't hold it against him. I don't think he's a snake he's savage. He's a cutthroat player, but he's
Mm.
not mean or
To
nasty.
me, he's the modern villain. We're
Yeah,
never
he's
gonna
a
see
good villain.
Yeah, we're not gonna see a Russell Hantz ever
I
again. We're
hope
not gonna see
not.
a Johnny Fairplay again. We're not gonna see villains like that because like social media, if they acted that way, they'd literally be destroyed.
Yeah. All you
And a
gotta
lot
do is look at Big Brother community. Like you're
Yeah,
done, you
you're
know?
done. So like no people are conscious going into the game knowing that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's one thing to play villainous, it's another thing to be an asshole.
Yes, and he's not.
He's
I
not.
don't see him that way at all. He's villainous, like he's cutthroat. He's willing to do what he needs to do to win or what he believes he needs to do to win. He's willing to cut his closest allies. And I'm not mad at a selfish player. What are you there for? You're on
Right.
the island to win. You're
Right.
not on the island to be friends or whatever the case may be. So make the moves you need to make for your game, even if it's hard. Like I commend him for doing it because I know it wasn't easy. You
Yeah.
know, I have respect for it. I love it
And
actually.
let's face it, there's no guarantee that you'll ever play again. So
Right.
just like the way like there's been probably dozens and dozens of players that we thought for sure would be back by now. They never played again.
Yeah.
So this might be his one time playing this game, and he's there. He's gonna make every opportunity the best outcome for him and for him to win the game because he may never get another opportunity at this again. And let's face it, he won't be able to play the same game if he does play again. Like he won't
Yeah.
be able to lay low and all that stuff because people are going to be aware of how he
Yes,
played.
he did. Yeah.
So
Hopefully, he would be out there with a whole bunch of people with a whole bunch of long, impressive moves and resumes. So he might not be so much at the forefront, but I guess we have to wait and see for that returning season. I'd love to see him back.
yeah, I think Cody would be fun person to be back too. I think like having that redemption story, like I can't believe they've never done a second chances again. I feel like this would
Yeah.
be a perfect time to do it. You have anyone from second chances on for this another opportunity would be you could get so many good
What's
players.
that season number? Do you
I think
know?
it was 31.
Okay. That's a lot of seasons in
That's a
between.
lot of seasons in between. Like
Yeah.
David versus Goliath was in after that. Colorado already had a lot of people play again.
Yeah.
Uh, I've already played 3 times now. But Millennials versus Gen X was
Yeah.
after that. They have a lot of good players that never played
Wendell
again.
season,
Uh,
Nick season.
yeah, these last 3 seasons, they have loads of people.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
even
I
Edge of
don't know.
Extinction had some decent players that I wouldn't mind seeing again.
Absolutely. I liked a lot of those players. Give me Lauren Beck all
Right.
day. That
I,
is my girl.
I love Victoria. I'm a big
No,
Victoria fan.
Victoria. I like Victoria too, the
Yeah,
redhead, right? Yeah, I
yeah.
love her. I liked her a lot. I liked oh no, I'm on the whole wrong season. Jesus Lord. I liked Victoria. I liked the dark-haired Lauren.
Hmm.
Who else is on there? Oh, I
Uh,
did not
Rick,
like
Rick Devens is for sure going to play again
I loved him.
if he perfect second chance headliner right there.
Yeah.
So
I didn't like that Aurora.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
she was. I just felt it was hard to like get personable with her.
Yeah, I didn't like her at all.
So
Like when she's when he caught her, we're off on a tangent,
yeah,
but when he caught her looking in her bag, she did not care. I was like, oh, I don't like her.
so I think that so get back on the episode itself.
Yeah.
I think the episode from start to the beginning was good. We had 2 good challenges. I'm not a big challenge guy, but I did enjoy the reward challenge. That was fun and it was super close. So
Yeah, very
that's always fun as well.
hmm
And I really enjoyed the immunity challenge as well too. So it was close again.
Cody. He was and I'm like, if he had had his way the previous week, he would have won that challenge. And he would not be off of that island right now.
No,
It's
he would have
crazy.
won immunity.
Right. He would have had that win. He was seconds behind her. Seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Cody.
So it was just like the reward challenge was fun, the immunity challenge was fun, and then like we seen the gameplay. We seen stellar gameplay from Cody. Like the plan that Cody came up with was also a savage play. Was
Yeah.
it was a like we're like Cody, whoa, where's this
No.
coming from?
Yes. And I was like, I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is such a good plan. I hate it. Well, I hated who it was planned against. It was a foolproof plan. That's why I think it's extra gutsy that Jesse was like, no, I'm going to do my plan. You know what I mean? Because he had one where his hands would have been perfectly clean. But again, all that credit would have gone to Cody, you
Right.
know? So,
And so he not only chops off Cody, who was a big threat within the game,
mhm.
steals his idol, but he also weakens the other big threat within the game.
Yeah.
And and make her look bad in the process by voting off. She voted for Owen. So
He's still there.
it was still there. And we had a tribal council where everybody there was very confident that their plan was going to work.
Hmm
That's something you don't normally get at a final 6 vote. Usually you have like 1 or 2 people are like, yeah, I'm nervous. Everyone was confident that their plan was going to work. Like,
Yeah. And I think obviously Cass had to be in on it, it seems like.
mhm.
Obviously Owen was. Do you know what I mean? I cannot wait to see next week's episode.
It really truly feels like he stole Cassidy from Carla, and Owen is willing to go with anybody that'll just pet him and accept him just a little bit. It's like, please just include me. Just include me.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Owen, I say Owen could have blown it up, but I don't know why he would when that plan left him safe for another
Right.
week. You know what I mean? But also, so would have Cody's.
Hmm.
He just got Carla. So,
Yeah. And I think so. What you think of Cody wanting to go to the Final Four with all the guys? Like, do you think that was smart of him? Do you think that was
because he said with Jesse and Gabler, right? Is that what he's been
yeah,
saying?
and then he wanted Owen to be the 4. But I feel like that was a kind of a bad move to go to 4 with Owen if you want Gabler and Jesse to be your 3, because like Owen's shown that he's better at the challenges than Cody throughout most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I'm just assuming he seems like somebody that knows how to make fire. And he's close with Sammy, who was really good at making fire.
Yeah, really
So
good.
you can't tell me that he hasn't asked Sammy some questions about how to make fire.
I don't know. I'm surprised that he is willing to go with Gabler is a shoe-in. I would take Gabler if I was anybody because I don't think he's going to get the vote over anybody. Not for lack of liking him as a human. I just think that other people will respect other people's games more than they would Gabler. So I'd take him in a hot second. Cody's interesting, but I just think, or Cody wanting to take Jesse is interesting, but I just think it's out of loyalty. I mean, the sense that I'm getting in the exit press is that after he made that early on cut of the lady that I cannot think of, I'm so sorry.
NECA.
Huh?
NECA.
Yes, that hurt. Like he didn't enjoy doing it, and I don't think he ever would have willingly cut Jesse, especially not like this. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it was the best game move. I think that he should have gone there without Jesse, but I don't think he would have if he
No.
had his choice. You know.
Did you watch the end credit scene when he was talking and showing all the votes and everything like that, and he gave him
Little
the
Peter.
finger? That
Hey, I get it, Cody. And he said also in one of the extra press I listened to that he was in the holding tent for a little bit, kicking, screaming, cussing. So he was feeling it. Like that's gonna, because if you think about it, that's such a shock. And he said he has never felt that way in his life and he never wants to feel that way again. But I just know as he thinks about how this came to be, it has to be more and more infuriating. I would
yeah.
imagine.
It also depends on how the other jury members handle it as well. If they like laugh at it or make fun of it or just bring it or make jokes, like just like trying to kid with them, like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That might rub salt into the wound. But if they
Yeah.
say, I'm sorry this happened to you, and they just like there for him, it'll be a little bit easier to process the whole thing. But if there's people there that are rubbing salt in the wounds, I can understand that staying open for a little bit longer.
Yeah, like the stand could stay open till today for all I care. I'm sure that was really hard to watch back. He said he was drunk last night. Like, and I don't blame him. That has to be so hard to watch back. You
Yeah,
know, you're number one. I just think that that is really downplayed by the fandom. You know how
yeah.
much that stuff can cut deep. So I send him all the love. But that
Yeah.
man, that was so
I
sad.
think Cody is a great character. Seems like a great guy. I was kind of wrong on him preseason. I thought like this guy is just he's gonna be an older Xander. That's what I thought. He's gonna win some challenges. He's gonna make merge, and he's just gonna be some boot that no one's gonna care about. But he was way better at the game than I ever thought he was going to be, even pre-merge.
Hmm.
After even like I was like voting Neck out was a terrible move. Da da da, and he showed that he had a lot more chops within the game
Yeah,
throughout the season. Because like Jesse did a lot this game, but he did it with
with
Cody.
Cody. Yes. Hmm.
He wouldn't be able to do the moves that he did without Cody, and that was the thing. Cody talked about this in his extra interview. He goes, me and him would meet up like 3-4 times a day for like 10 minutes a day, and we just compare notes, and then we'd come back and disperse and go back to different people to gather information. That's why people didn't see us quite as a power duo, because we weren't always together.
Yeah.
We were out doing our own things, and then we'd come back, we'd make a plan, and then we'd go enact the plan.
Yeah, they
So,
were a really, really good duo. Like
mhm.
these modern days, while in the past people rocked with their number one and they don't want to let them go. We saw that in Winners at War. As soon as Rob saw that Parvati was in trouble, he went to work, maybe even to his detriment. You know what I mean? He went to work. He was like, oh, no, 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 I wouldn't. And I've heard Parvati talking about recent seasons. She was like, I never would have cut Amanda like that. I couldn't have done that. And Adam was talking about it recently too. These people, these newer players, are willing to cut their number ones if they think it's going to help them in the game. Like they're just willing to be more savage.
Mhm. The you could definitely see the upswing, but I think it's because of the the people they're casting. Like there's
Yeah.
more fans of the games. There's less recruits.
Yeah.
Cody was a recruit in a way. He
Yeah.
only watched a couple seasons,
Even
so
yeah.
but Cody is also a funny guy, charismatic guy. Like you can
Yeah.
clearly see why they cast
They
him.
pick him. Yeah, I completely agree. He's been
So
a great character this season.
mhm.
Poor Cody.
Poor Cody. But like, and that look he gave to Jesse, I literally like held my breath and like, oh,
Like,
because he leaned over and just stared at him, and Jesse's like, "I'm sorry," and he just stared at him. I was like, if it was any type of environment besides a TV show where you get a lot of trouble, I swear to God, I thought he was gonna
They've
punch
been
him.
fighting. Yeah, Cody said this had been 5 years ago. Like, oh, yeah.
So it was just, yeah, it was such a moment. It was just the whole episode just was so good. This is gonna be probably an all time episode, I think, because it wasn't like a boring moment.
Right. It was like from start to finish. At the beginning, we had the Carla Cash drama. I was
Yeah,
cracking up when she said, I just earned an Emmy. Oh, I love her. And then she's like, go Cass, go verify with Jesse. Jesse blew up her spot. I was like, oh, Jesse.
yeah.
So quick, without hesitation.
Oh
Bam,
yeah,
blew it
yeah.
up.
She did. She did. She
Yeah.
wanted to vote you out.
It's like, oh my
You
gosh.
didn't even see him process it. He already knew what he was gonna say as soon as she started talking to him. She's like, I already know.
Yeah. He's ready to drive that wedge between them. So hopefully he has a number for him. It's smart. I get it. So then we had the challenges, and then we had the reward, and then them talking back at camp. Like, and then once it got to after the immunity challenge, it was just on with all these plans, and what the heck is gonna happen? It was a really good episode. And this type of move is one that's just gonna cement Jesse in Survivor history. People are gonna remember Jesse. People are gonna remember this episode, and people are going to remember this move. This is the kind of move that Survivor players dream of making,
Yeah,
but it really, really, truly has to be the perfect storm,
we
you
have
know?
to give. I poo poo the edit a lot because they do give us some raw edits, but yeah, I admit that they gave us a phenomenal long term story with this vote out, with
Mhm.
Cody finding the idol and them talking about the idol. Then they get to merge, and Cody hands the idol to Jesse, and Jesse for multiple episodes says, "I still have this idol. I still have this idol. I still have this idol,"
Yep.
and I was like, something's gonna happen with this idol
Yeah,
because
'cause they keep talking about
talking
it.
about it.
Yeah.
And Survivor does a really bad job at sometimes having these long-term build-ups, but they
Mhm.
build this relationship up so
Perfect.
well,
Yeah.
so good throughout the whole season. They built up this idol, and Carla having this idol and her feeling uncomfortable with this idol throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
And it just like two crescendos right there. Like
Yep.
it just one of
It
those
was
things
Go ahead,
perfect.
I'm sorry. Yes, the buildup was perfect. Like we got that ending we deserved after seeing these little things trickle by episode or episode, people talking about these things. So we haven't seen anything come into play. So it was the perfect buildup to this moment.
It was just like one of those things that this is why I keep coming back to Survivors for things like this. Like Marianne's vote last that season with Omer was another really good episode, really great move. And it's
Yeah,
just like for a move to top that move, it has to be a really good move, a
yep.
great move, and that's what we got with this.
Every season has that kind of moment. The last three, we
Yeah.
have this one with these two allies working together all through the game, and then one cutting one close ally,
Mhm.
Marianne and Omar, like you just said, and then we have Shannon Ricard.
Mhm.
Like those are the moments of the season, and Jesse got his. I'm happy for him.
Yeah. I really hope that they're friends outside the show. Obviously, we don't know it's all that happened until like the season's over with. We
Yeah,
won't truly know where they stand because I know they're under strict what they can
we
tweet, what
can't.
they can
Yeah,
discuss, they're very under the eye with CBS. So
yeah. I get the sense that they are because he said in an interview they're good today. He
yeah,
said it. I saw it in I think Mike Bloom's interview, but he
okay,
said that they're good. So I'm happy to hear that.
I am
I
too.
don't. I'm not. I don't judge if they're not, but I'm happy. I know Marianne and Omar are
Like this, it,
like this, always together.
mm,
And then Shannon Ricard, while
they're not
they
quite.
were they were bad. They were good after the season, then they weren't. And from what I understand, they're good now.
Mm, mm,
So they're at Hearts of Reality together. So hopefully they've mended fences at least to be able to share a
yeah.
space together and experience like Hearts of Realities. From what I heard, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've been, we're both engraved in the Facebook community with Survivor and Big Brother,
Yeah.
and people are clamming for these villains. But 2 out of the last 3 seasons, we got 2 villains, and one that really destroyed in Shan. I really disliked that. I didn't wasn't like after the season and during the season, like she's a terrible person that when she really wasn't doing anything that was attacking anybody personally
Right.
or
That's
anything like
my
that.
thing. I was like, she does not, while she may be outspoken, while she may be trying to push her own agenda, which you're supposed to do in
Also
a
do.
game like this, to get her way, the people just, no matter what she did, no matter what move the genie thing, oh, she stole her. No, she didn't. Genie never took possession of the idol. They convinced her not to.
Right.
But that's good gameplay. Yeah, I think that Survivor tries really hard to protect the players these days because of how they're treated by the fandom. Because the least bit of ruthless gameplay these days, people get so upset. I'm like, how are you mad? I don't understand how. I can understand being disappointed because you really loved Cody and you're really rooting for Cody, but Jesse made a savage play, and Cody is really owning up to his contribution to that play. He gave him the idol. He allowed him to keep the idol, and he gave it back to him on this very night. I mean, can you
Right.
blame Wolfie? He's not a
Right.
snake. He's trying to win money, you
Right.
know?
You're out there to play a game to win a game. And it'd be different if it was Jesse was like in his face is like, "You idiot, bro." That on his way out. Like that'd be different. You're like, damn, that's messed up. That'd be
Right.
messed up. And people would be like, I'm not for that. He wasn't in his face like, yeah, I got you. I got you. He's like, I'm sorry. He gave him a hug. He's like, I'll explain everything later and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. Like that
That's
was that was a great move, and that's what it'll be accepted as, and it won't be like a personal attack.
right. Completely agree. People consider Omar a villain. I'm not against it. I've seen good points on both sides. Villain as far as willing to cut people. I think he was definitely a front runner to win at the time when Marianne sniped him. But the last three villains of the season have not been people that have been mean, nasty, or disrespectful. I don't care what they say about Shan. Point it out to me and give me an example, and then we can
Right.
talk about it. But they have not been. They've been playing a game to where they're willing to make moves that are considered cutthroat or sneaky, even like her convincing Jeannie not to take that idol and taking it for herself. Bad on Jeannie though. Jeannie should have
Right.
taken it on it. She didn't take it, so Shan got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it perplexes me when we have people that watch the game and then get mad at moves like this. Yes, it sucks when it's played on one of your favorites, but I commend him because he didn't treat him badly. He didn't disrespect him. He just made a move so he can advance his game and have a
Right.
chance to win. That's what you're
But
supposed to do.
yeah. At 42, Omer was my favorite.
Was
So
he?
with him, yeah, he was my I loved him. I thought he
I did
oh,
too.
I loved him. So like when he got voted out, was I mad that he got voted out? No, was I upset that like I was like,
Oh
bravo. Like
no.
you see somebody who was going to win the game
Mhm.
and you took him out before he got to the chance to get there. I rather
Yeah.
somebody lose the game at 5 and 6 over getting
Mhm.
to final three and losing it to a player that was lesser than them.
Mhm.
Because like
Yeah.
it's like it just leaves a bitter taste in your mouth because we've seen it before where like somebody the audience and even some players admit they play the better game, I still won't vote for them. And that's happened before. That
It
leaves a
does
bitter taste in your
happen.
mouth.
I think that um I like the argument, if you can get to the end and you can get to the votes, you deserve it. I do agree with that. The point is, you got to convince the jury that you deserve to win. And if you're able to get to the final three and you're able to convince the people that you played with that your game was the best, enough so that they give you the million, how do you not deserve it? How can you then say they don't deserve it? The difference is just each person or jury member respects something different. A good example of that is Game Changers. Ozzy really respected Culpepper because of he knew how Culpepper had to battle and win those challenges to stay in that game. That's a quality that Ozzy respected in a player. Is he wrong? No, that's what he appreciates and he respects. The same for Sarah, and Sarah spoke up and said, "Hey, I'm not a professional athlete. I had to, and look at me standing up, Sarah. Can you believe it? But I
Yeah.
had to do what I needed to do and use the skill set that I have to get to the end. You're not wrong for valuing Culpepper's game, and I'm not wrong for valuing hers. It's an individual game, and I hope players, I don't think that they do, but I hope players feel comfortable enough to vote for the merits for which they want to. Like Tyson in Winners at War, he voted for Natalie because Natalie showed an immense amount of kindness towards him in that game that could be so cutthroat. He said that's one of the biggest reasons. Is he wrong? No, that's what he values. How is he wrong? So I hope people get to the end in this season and vote for what they respect in whatever
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah. I I feel like I really like Carla. I just feel like her winning projection just kind of keeps going lower and lower and lower throughout each episode. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just see where, like at the beginning of Merge, she was the one everyone trusted, and it
Yeah.
slowly became Jesse, and he just kept taking people out, and then stealing people slowly from her. Like, oh, she trusts Sammy. She wants to keep Sammy in the game. We gotta get Sammy out. Things like that, where it was a unanimous vote, but it was a necessary vote for Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
To lower Carla just a little bit. So it's just I don't think I'd be disappointed if like Jesse got out. Let me rephrase that. I would be disappointed if Jesse loses at 4. I'd be so
Yes.
heartbroken
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like if he doesn't get there, it'd be like, "Ah, we just watched this man just destroy this whole game and he loses the fire or something like that'd be so just underwhelming. Like you don't want to see the favorite lose fire. It's just not
Yeah.
as exciting.
Yeah.
Um
But
so
somebody else's favorite. There are some people that want Carla or want Cassidy or want Owen or want Gabler for some odd reason. You know,
Amanda's a big Gabler fan.
I do not get it. Do not. I don't have a problem with him, but I just do not get it. I don't think he has a shot to win that game. I don't think any combination of any people are going to give him that win. If I had to pick, Jesse's my 1, Carla's my 2, Owen's my 3, Cass is my 4. That would make
See,
me like that order.
my big issue with Owen is that that man has been so clueless for about most of the merge. Like, and not
I
the lack of him
know.
trying. Like,
Right.
it's not like he's just like not trying to figure out or not trying to be loyal to people. Like he
They're
just kept
lying to him. Yeah.
yeah, he's just getting outfoxed left and right, and
Mhm.
I feel bad for the guy because you can see the frustration that the one when Noel went home, like
Yeah, he was hot.
he wanted to cry because he's just like I feel like I could be really good at this game. I just can't do anything, and that's my biggest issue with Owen is that if he wins, it's just he wins because he just survived and didn't do much else,
Mhm.
and that's my biggest issue with it.
Yeah,
Um,
there's gonna be a lot of people that feel that way. I get it. I can't really say much against that. He's tried. He's put in but some people say he's an underdog, and people like an underdog story, and he still
that's
made it
true.
there. I wish you watched Australian Survivor. I could give you so many references, but
I
um,
it's in my queue. It's going to watch. It's just I so I like when I start something, I'll like get really immense in something, and so like I only try to do one show at a time, and
yeah,
I keep doing like with so I'm watching Survivor, the challenge, um, and I was watching the Chucky show that was coming on weekly. Now that's over. It's like and as a parent, I only have so much time to watch
yes,
shows. So and a show like that I've never watched before, I can't watch my kids there because I'll miss so much. I'll miss like a conversation. Like,
yeah.
why is this person targeting this person now? I'm so lost. So I
I get
tried
it.
watching newer seasons of like Survivor and Big Brother with my kids. It's like impossible.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I trust me, I get it because you won't know, like you said, you won't know what the heck happened or why it happened. So I get it.
Mm. So
One day you have to because
yeah, I will. I wish there was like a little bit of a gap like after the season, we'll have a little bit of gap between the next season Survivor and Big Brother. In
Yeah.
that time frame, I'm either gonna start Big Brother Canada or Australian Survivor. I gotta start one of them.
Hmm. I like
Yeah,
both.
yeah. So
I like
we'll
both.
talk. I know you told me to watch both. I'll watch one of. I'll start one of them because I'll stick with that, and then I'll get caught up, and then I'll go from there.
I don't know who has more. I don't know how many seasons there are of Australian Survivor. I have no idea. I can't remember. It's maybe like 10 or I think it's pretty similar to how many there are of Big Brother Canada because this one coming in the spring is 11.
Okay.
So it's
Is there a
pretty.
lot? Is there as many episodes as Big Brother Canada? Like I heard it's a longer season, so
I think it's pretty equal. They have 3 days a week. It's just different days. I think it's pretty equal in the number of episodes and
okay.
time. It's very similar, just some small like my look at us. We're talking about Big Brother. My favorite
Yeah.
is they don't let the HOH play in the veto. It's awesome. None of them can play in the video. It's good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I'll have to check it out. It's like
Yeah.
it's one of those things that I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, but like I watch a lot of TV,
Me
so
too.
so it's
Yeah.
hard. I watch a lot of TV shows, and I'm like, I just keep picking new ones up, and I'm like, I gotta pick. It's like I sometimes I just need a little bit of break of Survivor and Big Brother, and so I like to
Yeah.
pick other type of show. And so it's like, man, I gotta find time to watch this, but like, I really like watching this show right this moment. So,
I get it.
but yeah, I think so. How do you feel about the season as a whole? I know we've talked about it before, and you've been like
It's a
lukewarm
it
on.
was yeah, it's okay. Um 41 and 42, I had more people that I was really like invested in and really rooting for. And I still follow like now. And there was nobody this season in particular that like I really like latched onto like I have in the past. But it's been a decent season. I can't call it a bad season. I think that it's gained more and more traction as we've gone along. And these past couple of weeks, I think, have been just the best of the season because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people trying to do
Yeah,
things and make moves and get to the end. So I like it. It's not a bad season.
like if you really break it down, the merge has been really good. Like
Yeah.
the alley vote was a crazy mess, even though that wasn't like the merge yet. And the
Yeah.
Dwight was a pre-jury, but the Dwight vote was very interesting.
Yeah.
That's where Jesse got the idol.
There goes
Very
Jesse.
interesting. Yeah. And then we had the double tribal where we got James voted out, where Sammy convinces Carla, and it's very good. The
I was
Ryan
happy
vote out,
about that one.
yeah. The Ryan one was like, whatever. But
Yeah. Hmm.
and then the Sammy one was kind of like it wasn't a bad episode, but it was a necessary episode for a player like Jesse and Carla. They were fighting for pieces, and
Hmm.
Jesse
In their
won in
puzzle,
that
yeah.
battle. And then these last, just like if you think like each, it feels like it built up, and it's like the last two episodes have been really good, and
Really,
this
really
one
good.
just like knocked it off the park, and they nailed this finale and have a really good finale.
Yeah.
I think people will really go back fondly of this season because I would
Yeah.
rather have a kind of boring pre-merge to a really great merge to exciting pre-merge and boring merge.
I agree because sometimes pre-merge is on fire and then you get to merge and it's like, oh, a bunch of steamrolling. You know what I mean? Or so
Yeah,
I completely agree with that. I think that for me, the winner is gonna be
yeah,
what
it
like
determines a lot.
yeah.
Because like let's face it, like if Owen wins, you're gonna be like, maybe I won't go back and watch that.
I don't mind him. I completely understand what you're saying about his game and being left out of the loop for weeks upon weeks. He's not for lack of effort,
Yeah,
like he's trying. Um, so I
and
understand that. I just
it,
like the guy, so I wouldn't be mad at it.
if Cassidy wins, like you'd be like, I mean, she was okay, like,
Yeah, that's
but
how I feel about her. I
yeah,
don't love her. I don't hate her. I'm not like rooting against her. Her Carla dynamic is interesting, and I do not think they should turn on each other. Like, okay, be mad at me for trying to, but we got to get to the end. Let's go. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I don't think that more so in Big Brother than I do in Survivor, where people try to make moves against them and then they're able to forgive them and get back together and move forward in the game. Because I'm like, if I need you, okay, you could have tried to get me. You didn't get me, but we're both still here, so let's rock together. That's probably easier said than done after they just did you dirty, but Taylor did
It's
it.
also a lot easier if the person admits it to you.
Yes.
Carla
Yeah.
lying like that and making
Up,
a
down,
big
left, and right.
dramatic scene, it's kind of like a smack in the face a little bit, where it's
Yeah.
like this girl really thinks I'm that dumb. Like,
Yeah.
because Owen also, we didn't mention this. Owen had a really good moment with Cassie. He's like, "Look, Carla was throwing your name on the bus, and that's why I heard." He's like, "Where'd you hear it from?" I heard it from Sammy. So that way she can't fact check him. It doesn't
Yes.
fall back on Owen. And
Yes.
you know what? Sammy was close with Carla, so that's believable
Believable.
that Sammy did say that to him. So it's like, okay, let me go talk to her. He talks to her. I don't know. It made me feel uncomfortable. Let me go talk to Jesse. And Carla tells Jesse, "Hey, she's gonna go talk to you. This is what you need to tell her. I made up some story." He's like, "You're right. I got you." No, yeah, she definitely tried to vote you out. So
I'm not mad at it. You know, you
no,
got to do, even though I love her, you got to do what you got to do.
I think Carla. If Carla doesn't win, like there's still a chance she wins. Like we can't
Yeah.
rule her out or anything. If she doesn't win and wants to come back and play, I'd be all for it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. There's not
so,
many people that I would be like, oh no, like I
yeah.
not Gabler. I do not want to see oh, you just said his name, the black guy.
James.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Ryan.
No, yeah, him. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't James. I don't want to see James.
You want to see
Oh,
James?
I did not like him very much.
So
He's not on a Deshaun level. Like I don't hate him, but I didn't care for him. I don't know. There was
yeah.
something about him that rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. Just never vibed with that guy. I
So you
didn't
remember
mind Ryan.
those 90 voice changers that he used to have? That's
Oh
what his voice reminded me of.
God. I kept wanting to say, clear your throat. Just clear your throat. Give it one good time, James.
I just wanted to
Um,
offer him a glass of water.
he's like Johnny Mac.
Yeah. Yeah.
His voice got me.
So, but yeah, I think it really comes down to this episode. If Jesse plays the idol and it's like fantastic, and even if they all vote for Jesse and he plays and his vote sends the one person home, you're like, oh my god, like there's a lot of outcomes where this could be exciting final five and final four. That
Yeah.
and then an exciting final three, even if it's a steamroll by Jesse at final three, if the final five and final four rounds good, and then his
Mm-hmm.
final tribal councils performance is good, you're gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
man, that was such a good finale. But like,
Mm-hmm.
if you get like the most disappointing final three would be Owen, Gabler, and Cassidy at this point.
That's how I feel. I would not be happy with that. I'll be like, come on. Like I would not be happy with that. I need either
Carla or
I
Jesse
need
there.
either yes, they have to be there. Or I'm just gonna be like, no. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't dislike Cassidy or Owen at all, but to me, the superior players are Carla, but they gotta get there. They gotta get there to
Yeah,
be
they gotta
considered.
get there.
One of
So
them gotta get there.
if you're Jesse, who would you try to target at final five? Would it be
Carla.
Carla? Would it be Carla?
Yeah, he has to. That was his whole point in getting that idol out of her hands. So she can't use it now. And he used his, but she can't use it. So I think Carla is going to be public enemy number one going into this vote. And I feel like the only way she's going to survive is if she gets the advantage that they're about to go hunt for next week, or gets immunity necklace. I feel like if she doesn't do those two things, I would be so shocked if she does not go out at 5.
So hear me out. If you're Jesse, you
Mm-hmm.
thinking there's a chance that you're gonna have to make fire.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think you could beat in fire? I think he could beat Carla because of her hand issues that she was having during the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So what if Gabler, for example, wins immunity, or Cassidy wins
Mm-hmm.
immunity? What if he plays his idol for Carla and they vote out like Owen, somebody who's
I
really
don't
good
think
at challenges and somebody who could probably make fire?
I do not think he will do that
But
because
like, could you
what if?
imagine?
No. I was like, you dummy. That's what I would say. I would say you get Carla out. I mean, I love her. I do not want her out, but I think she is the biggest danger to his win. I think he sweeps not sweeps, but he's winning against anybody else. Carla is his biggest hurdle. And I don't
Yeah.
know if she could beat him at this point. I don't know. I need to listen to some more exit press, but I don't know if she could beat him, but I need one of those two to make it, or I'm going to be very upset. I do
Yeah.
not want a Cassidy, Owen, Gabler final three. That would
I
be
just
so
this is my
tragic.
thinking though. Like, if Jesse feels like he's gonna have to make fire, who does he feel most comfortable making fire with?
I think he would assume the women.
Yeah, like, and
That's just
so
my guess.
that's your guess. So like, and yeah, I think who would be willing to take you? I feel like at this point,
Nobody.
I think Cassie would.
Take who? Jesse?
Jesse.
No. I think that this move, I think prior to this move, he could have had any of his allies take him should they win the final four immunity. Now that he's did this, they're gonna this is what I imagine happening. He is going to be public enemy number one at 5 vote this coming vote. He is going to be like, he's going to take somebody that he trusts and somebody that he wants to get to the 3 with and say, I got an idol. I'm going to play my idol, and me and you are going to vote for probably Carla if she don't have that necklace around her neck. They're going to let everybody vote for Jesse, be hush-hush about the idol, and then take Carla's behind out. That's the situation that I imagine is very likely if Carla does not win immunity. I feel like something like that is he's going to play that idol, and nobody is going to choose to take him to the final 3. He is making fire unless he wins that necklace. And I would be if somebody didn't do that, they're an idiot. Right?
Yeah,
Why
I
would
mean,
you take him? There's
yeah.
nothing anybody could be able to say.
This is the way I see it. We've seen him outplay, like he blindsided Noelle like twice, and
Yeah.
she still trusted him and she still called him his number one, her number one,
Right.
and so it's like it's one of those things that like, what if he still convinces somebody to take him? It'd
Then
be
just give
such
him the million. Like
yeah,
if
it'll be one of the,
if he pulls that off, I do not see that happening. But if he pulls that off, give the man the money. Give him the check.
so
Just write it right now.
so
Or even
the
vote.
last two seasons, the person who got taken to FTC won it.
Mm-hmm.
And Erica got taken by Xander, and then Romeo took Marianne, who didn't win. So what if a Cassidy wins and she's like, you know what, Jesse's been so loyal to me, I'm gonna take him and reward him. Because I don't think Owen would. I think Owen would take Gabler and Gabler would take Owen.
She better not do that. I mean, I'll be okay if she does. I'm not going to complain, but for her own game, she should not do that. I cannot imagine any of them. If he pulls that out, give him the check. I don't know. Go ahead, take him. Go ahead.
And it's just like, if he wins, we could be like, even if he doesn't win at this point, I think we're seeing a birth of a Survivor legend, and it's so exciting to see. It's like
he solidified that.
Yeah, even with Marianne's win, it was fun and exciting. We didn't feel like, oh, we just seen a legend play. Like, if Jesse gets there, wins, you'd be like, man, like that was like a legendary game we just seen and witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to Marianne, I love Marianne. I think she was played great. Her final tribal was one of the best ever. I thought she did really good. But like this is just something different.
Yeah, that
so
move.
So it's just like,
that's one of those moves. You know, the wheelhouse of big moves that people talk about. There's a book of them. There's like the Kelly Wentworth, these double idol play. Like, you know what I mean? Ricard taking out Shannon, but nothing. There's very few that are gonna top this one. The way in which he carried it out, the way like he played his own idol on him. Like, you know what I mean? So savage.
Like Kelly Wentworth played her own idol to save herself, which is the right move. But like
You're talking about the Savage vote where they got that old, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I love it because I'm not a big Savage fan, so like I'll stick it to him. But like, just as he literally played everybody the way he wanted to at the tribal. Like, not everybody. Like we haven't seen a move like this, like I said, since Winners at War and Tony with the Sophie blindside.
Oh,
Like that goes
yeah.
this move goes in that category, which is
Yeah.
like not a lot of players could do. It's
And
like you
you,
may not like him, but the Russell convincing Tyson to vote Parvati, like that's a move that's just like it stands apart from a
yeah.
lot of other moves.
Yeah.
So
I think that the opportunity even to have moves like it's not easy to do. Like
mm-mm,
Evie and Tiffany talked about, she said they talked about postseason. We would run around the island trying to make big moves and blah blah blah. There's no big moves to make. Like it has to, it's such a perfect storm that has to come together that seemingly was ruined when he took that idol from Jesse at first, but it just
mm-hmm.
has to be a perfect storm. And fans always want the big moves, but I really think that the opportunity to do things like this is few and far between. Jesse, like he had the perfect storm for this all to come together. He put the pieces together right. He trusted the right player in Owen, because like I said, Owen could have easily ruined it, easy if he
Mm-hmm.
wanted to, but he didn't
Yeah.
want to. Luckily for Jesse, so it was just a perfect storm, and it solidified him. He's just gonna, that's gonna be a move that's talked about forever.
Yeah. Survivor is like a game of poker. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
using chips for currency, they use social capital as currency. And it's all
Mm-hmm.
about raising your surplus and gaining social capital, and then knowing when to use the chips that you've earned and to go in with them. And he
Yep.
did that this episode. He
Mm-hmm.
he earned social capital from Carla, from Cassidy, from Cody, from Owen, from
Yep.
Gabler, from
Yep.
he earned it all, and he placed his chips right where he needed to throughout this episode to every single one of them.
Yep. Yep.
And
Please let him win. I just want him to win.
yeah,
Give
I
me
just
him with
want
Carla. Just give it
yeah.
to me. I need it. Please. It
So
has to
I
be.
was this close to making him my winner pick. And I'm so upset.
Oh, Frank,
So
who did you pick? He's gone already.
she's gone already. I picked I picked Ellie.
Oh.
So I was like, Ellie's my number one, Jesse's my number two.
Mm-hmm.
I literally said that. Like there's tape of me saying that. Oh, I wish I could have switched it. Like I would feel so much better about what I said. Like, oh, I can't, because I was like, I read into the advertisement and just hearing him talk. I was like, this guy is very personable.
Like
He has a great,
preseason.
yeah, preseason,
Yeah.
and he has a story that Survivor loves, CBS
Yeah.
loves, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, he could be a smoke screen, but like if he's already over the promotional videos I seen. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but like the out front people have gone home, and that
Yes.
was my big worry. I was like, I feel like he's gonna be one of these players that gets to the end like Omer Ricard and
Mm-hmm.
loses it. But then
Mm-hmm.
I felt that way about Carla throughout the season. I felt like she was gonna be the Ricard and Omer of this season. But
Yeah.
now it's just
Cool.
like oh man, it's like, can he really pull this off? And
We'll see. We got one
we'll
more
see.
week. I really hope that he can. Like I respect the game that he's played. I would enjoy a Jesse win.
Yeah.
Carla next. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like this will be one of the Survivors' triumphs of their storytelling from the very beginning all the way to the end. Like
Yeah.
even with Mary Ann, there was times where she was invisible a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Erica, we already know what her issues for the edit was. It was a terrible edit from Survivor.
Yeah.
So, but this season would be like they showed every step of his way without saying this is the winner throughout the whole episode, because they made it seem like Carla was winning for a good
Look,
portion of the season.
I am a Survivor fan that does not even buy into the winner edit crap. Sorry. I just never have. I just think they edit it how they see fit. They edit it to tell a story. I don't necessarily think that winners get a particular edit. It makes me laugh when people say such and such is getting a winner. Oh, whatever. Because I've seen them say such and such is getting a winner edit, and it's not. It's like, well, they didn't win. Well, it was a fake one. Oh, stop. Leave me alone. There's no damn winners edit.
So we'll see. I haven't been like I said, this is the first time I've been this geeked about a Survivor episode since Winners at War, and that was a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
Not saying I didn't enjoy 42 because I did, but
Yeah. Like there was
there's this,
nothing
this
like this.
there was nothing like this.
Yeah.
This will be an all-time episode for sure.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited. Hopefully, I'm praying that they knock out the part with this end episode, the finale. If it's a great episode, you're like, you know what, that was a really good season. If it's a bad like this episode, this finale episode, it, often more for Survivor than others, but like this one really, like if it's Cassie, Owen, Gabler, it's just like I probably won't watch that again. I'll watch that moment again. I'll
Yeah.
watch a couple of moments again. I'll watch the highlights on YouTube, but I won't watch the season again.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want it to be Jesse or Carla because I like that. I like them. I like their characters. I like how they've played, and I respect their games.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say anybody else's game. Like for the people that feel that way about Gabler or Cass or Owen or whatever, people respect different things and like different styles of game. People are like for the ones that think Cody's a snake or whatever. I don't agree. I love it. I love it. He did what he
Yeah,
needed to do. So
he
please
did what
let
he
it be
needed.
one of those two.
Yeah, if he goes along with that plan with Cody, Cody
Mhm.
wins the game.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down because he's guaranteed
Yeah.
at Final Four at that point, and he's gonna
Mhm.
win a challenge or win fire, no matter
Yeah.
what. I feel like
Yeah.
he's Survivor guy. He's gonna win that fire, more likely than not.
Yeah.
And this was his last chance to get Cody out.
Yep. It really was because he had the idol for the next vote.
Yeah.
And then he's automatically in final four. And like they don't want to face each other. That could very well happen that a cast could win and then throw those two into fire against each other. And then there they go. He had the perfect timing with this. It
Mhm.
like I said, the perfect storm worked out for him, you know?
Yeah. And look, so moves like you said, it's hard to make moves like this, but Survivor's there's luck, a lot of luck in Survivor. And in
Uh,
in all these games, there's a lot of luck. There's always winners get lucky outcomes all the time. Like the second tribal where James goes home, that benefited him. Like he had nothing to do with that vote. That benefited him. That was lucky. Um, so it's just, and he was lucky that he had the right moment, the right time, the right plan to do all this. And they made like he was in
oh,
final three.
Frank.
Cody was in final three. Huh.
Yes. You disappeared for a minute.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Cody was in
You're
final
back.
three if he got past this round. Okay. So
Yes,
yeah, I don't.
absolutely. He I don't see how he couldn't, and I'm praying that Jesse can make it.
Mhm.
He's gonna make this, he's gonna get past this vote. We just need him to get past. We just need him to get his booty in those final three, and we're good. I swear it, if he gets there, he's going to win. If he doesn't, we riot.
Oh, the community, the Twitter, the Reddit, the Facebook. Like if Jesse's in final three and he doesn't win, there'll be the small people like, yeah, suck it, Jesse. Da, da, da. And then
Yeah.
everyone else be like, I'm done watching the show. It's over with. I've been watching since the beginning. I don't even know what I'm watching anymore.
Yeah, I cannot see how he does not win if he gets there. Like I cannot.
No. And the way he handled everyone going out, I think is what
Yeah.
is the biggest key to what will win him the game if he's there. So
Yep. I can't wait. 1 week.
1 week, and we'll figure out who's winning.
You gonna let me come back and talk about it with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that'll be. And so I won't be doing it that night. That'll be too late for
Oh
me.
yeah, that's 2 hours. We'll be into midnight.
I think Rob said something about being 3 hours.
3? Is it?
Or maybe he
Oh,
was talking. Maybe he's talking about his know-it-alls afterwards. Maybe
because I feel like it's usually 2 hours, right? 8 to 10, right?
something like that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's at least 2 hours long.
Are they reading? Have they said they're reading them on the island again and doing that whole?
Mm-hmm.
I pray go. I missed the reunion show, and I feel like it sucks for the players not to have like a get together and to have some closure. To get together with the whole cast.
Let's face it. they still don't know exactly what all happened.
Yeah.
They don't know all the interviews. They don't know if that bond was real. They don't know none of that because they don't see what everyone's really thinking.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see people who just lost the game sit there and be like, now how do you feel in this moment? Like terrible, Jeff. I feel terrible knowing
Yeah.
that I just lost $1 million. I feel
Now you're
awful.
asking me to talk about, and it's a tragedy. Like 41, I got to go back to it. If we would have had a reunion show, they'd have been playing that Shantham at that reunion. Like she
Oh
would
yeah.
have been a huge topic of discussion. Like we've been, because they don't know what's going to make the air or shown or perceived, or what are favorite moments, or what are bad moments or villainous moments. You don't know any of that. You don't have any perspective on what the audience thinks, or who's fan favorites, or who. You remember when Davey came out, he got that standing ovation. Nobody got that when they would have. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they didn't get that. I hate that they don't do a reunion. Come on,
Yeah.
we can do it with just the cast.
Yeah.
Don't forget the audience. Just get the cast together. Why can't
Yeah.
you do that?
Right. Or just have a smaller audience.
Yeah. I don't even
You
care about no audience. Just get
yeah.
the people together. Even
Yeah.
if you have to do it like post jury, I wouldn't even like throw a whole fit. But I
Let's
really
face
wish,
it, you could just either do it over Zoom.
yeah.
You could do it over.
Fine with
That
me.
was the biggest. That was my biggest gripe with Winners at War, not having a reunion with that cast. If I ever want to watch a reunion, it's gonna be
That
with
one.
that cast. It's
Yes.
that one.
Yes, absolutely. It's such a tragedy.
It's like, and they had everyone over Zoom. I was like, sweet, we're gonna still hear from everybody. Da, da, da.
Nothing. We got
No.
hi. And that was it. That was it. And then they read the votes and it was out. Like I hate it. I hate it so
Oh,
much. I pray after this season that, because these 3 seasons have been pretty similar with the 3 tribes with some of the same advantages. They've tweaked and done a few different things, but they've been pretty similar. So I'm hoping that in the next one we revert back to 2 tribes. I loathe 3. Hate it so much. I hate it so much.
do you
I
want
feel
to
like,
know? Do you know? Want to know the format for next season?
yes, you know it?
Yeah, you're not gonna be happy. It's 3 tribes. 3 tribes of 6.
You gave me a little bit of hope there for a second, Frank. Darn it. For real, I
There,
hate 3 tribes so much.
there's actually a new idol twist too.
What is it? How
Is
is Mr. I don't like spoilers?
this different format. I'm okay with learning
Okay.
format. I'm okay
All
with learning
right.
format.
Okay.
Um, so I guess I'll tell you after this. I don't want to
Okay.
spoil anything. Anybody don't want to hear any spoiler, I won't say it. If someone messaged me or something, I'll tell you what it is. But I don't want to say over here and make people upset.
Yeah.
Some people avoid spoilers more than I do, so I don't want to say it, and then it's gonna be this big ordeal. So
Yeah, like I told you, this is my first season in 3 seasons not knowing spoilers. It's fun. Like last night, I was on the edge of my seat because you messaged me and a couple other people like, "Did you watch?" And I'm like, "No, not yet." I fell asleep. And they're like, "Watch it," and I was like, "Okay." And I was just like, "Oh,"
yeah,
feverishly messaging people like, "What is going to happen?"
yeah,
So I have enjoyed not knowing. You
yeah.
know.
I literally clapped afterwards. Like I was stunned. I was watching on my computer like this, and I
Yeah.
just clapped, and I was just like in awe, like because even when he played the idol, like you still didn't know, like is he still good? Is he really gonna do it? Like there's still that sliver of doubt, even after he played the idol for Owen. Is he still gonna vote out Cody? Like, is he
Yeah.
just gonna vote Carla out and he just want
Yeah.
or vote Owen out or vote somebody else out?
Yeah.
Like there was still that little sliver of doubt, and then when Cody's came up, you're like, oh my god, he
Oh
did
man,
it.
Carla what got 1 vote? She could have
One
kept that
vote.
idol. Yeah.
Yeah, that he played it perfectly. He played the idol for the person that Carla was voting for, so she felt like it was worried. She felt like she had to play the idol.
Yes.
Yeah.
That spooked her. Bam, she played it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
such a good move.
all right, so I think that's about covers it. I mean,
Yeah.
we best episode since 40 is just.
Mhm.
I really hope the finale really sticks to the landing because that's will this will really hype up the season for me. This episode and the finale is good because these feel like the merge has been boosting up, and that's where you want the merge to be.
Yeah.
You don't want to see Pagonging. Like, yes, Jesse's kind of in a way dominated the game, but
Yeah.
he's done it in such a fun way.
Yeah.
And you got to really like the way he described phoning out Noel and
That
his
was so
confessional.
good. I
So good.
enjoyed it because he had well thought out plans, and you saw how he thought about it and executed it. Thought about it and execute. I really
Executed it.
enjoyed that. I wish they would do
More of
that a
that.
little bit more. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good because you saw like the thought process and you knew there was intention behind what he was doing. It just didn't work out or a coincidence. You know what I mean? I really
Mhm.
like that.
And Survivor, if you can air Big Brother 3 times a week, you can have an hour and a half episode of Survivor. Not
We
saying I don't like Big Brother, but like you have three hour or 3 episodes of hour-long length of Big Brother. You can find an hour and a half worth of content for us to.
easily because they even that's why they don't have the intro anymore because they want to use it for content.
Yeah,
There's no intro; it goes right into the show. There's no
yeah,
song, there's no nothing. And do you remember in Winners at War, they played the all the people on the edge thanking Jeff for allowing their families to visit.
yeah,
Like they had to do some findangling to even show that part because they had no room in the episode. Give them another half hour. That's all. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. Like half an hour, like, and then like for extended episodes, make it 2 hours. It's not like
Or
you're
do
hurting.
an episode every other week or every few weeks,
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It's just like there's so much that we miss throughout these episodes. Like with the two challenges, especially when there's two challenges and there's like three tribes.
Yes.
Like there's so much going on. You're like, what's going? You don't
Yeah.
even see episodes of tribes sometimes because they don't have time to show them.
Yeah, that's
So
Erica. We never saw that tribe. They never lost. So we never
no,
saw what was going on over there. Do you like three tribes?
uh, see, I don't like three tribes in a row, like in a row seasons. Like I don't like
Mhm.
it that this many seasons in a row. But do I like the change up every once in a while? Yes, I think it's
Mhm.
a good change up. But like I
I'd
feel
rather just see two big tribes. I feel like it's harder to get to know people for some reason when there are three. And I'd rather just see tribe swaps than like switch it up
I, I,
somewhat. Oh, I hate when they go from two to three, too.
yeah, I
Oh,
see. I feel like not having the try swaps isn't a big deal if they eventually go back to it and they like, alternate back and forth, like change
yeah.
it every like 2 seasons. They don't do it, or the next 2 seasons they will, or something.
Mhm.
Where like because people are getting used to not having it now,
Yeah.
and I think Christian talked about this with Rob, where he break down how many relationships, potential relationships, was in David versus Goliath because of the tribe swaps, and
Yeah.
in 42 he compared it was literally half.
Yeah.
So it's like
I give me two tribes and a tribe swap any day over this three tribe. I'm so tired of them. Maybe because I've never liked it, but I'm just not a fan. I just think it's too hard to get to know people. And I think that there's such little room for people to work. With six people, you can't do anything. Like
yeah,
there's very little. If you're a target, there's three people majority, or four people at first, but after that, like three people is all it takes to have that majority. And if those people are unwilling to budge on the position that they're in, why would they if they're in the majority? But with like 9, 10 people, there's so much more room to work and try to do something socially to push your agenda forward. And six, it's so
yeah,
small. I hate it.
yeah. I agree, and it also has a negative effect where people value tribe strength a lot more.
Hmm.
And we've seen a lot more women go out this season because of it.
So many.
So many, and really, the women have dominated the last 2 seasons, like with the wins.
Yeah.
So like, but it still doesn't negate the fact that throughout this, like, especially last season and this season, was it last season that we lost a lot of women too? I think so. I think the only one we lost was the God, I can't remember his name. Yeah. But yeah, but this season for sure we lost a lot of women pre-jury.
Yeah, tons, like tons. I just
Tons.
hope that Carla and Cass can move past whatever drama and try to stick together. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're really gonna see. how big of a grasp Jesse has on Cassidy this next week.
I hope it's a big one. Come on, Jesse. Because I want him to get there.
Yeah.
I want him and Carla rather to get there. One of them have to, or I'm gonna
Yeah, you're
shut
gonna
it
be like,
off.
I'm gonna go
I'm
bed.
shutting it off, Frank. That's what's gonna happen. Oh, I need it.
But all right, we've been going on for almost an hour and a half now. So,
Yeah.
uh, let's please just stick the landing. Let's just, even if Jesse and Carla lose, make it entertaining at least.
Yeah.
Do not make it boring. Do not. I don't want to see a bunch of alligator going on here, waiting to pounce. But
Alligator?
yeah,
Is that your term or his?
that was hers. You didn't remember that?
No,
It was after the Ellie vote. He's like, "Look, it's time for the Ellie Gabler to relax and wait bide his time."
he's so corny. Did you see him with the camo? Yes, I'm just like, ugh, get it, go. He just, oh.
I think he's a great character, but
Do you?
yeah, I
Mm-mm.
think he's funny.
I love to hate him. We don't
Thank you
hate
for
him, but
thank you for coming. I always love our conversations. So,
thank you for
uh,
having me. I
yes,
appreciate it.
yeah. But yeah, until next time, we'll talk to you guys later, and you follow us on all our podcast locations: YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, and follow us on Twitter and join our Facebook group. But until next week, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.